So LinkEye is solving the problem of managing and handling large networks by small teams. So we see that everyday enterprise IT teams are shrinking. They are becoming smaller and smaller. And IT teams are made of generalists, meaning these are not hardcore network specialists, but IT generalists who are in charge of managing a large, vast network. Right. So the skill gap is what we are bridging through our AI-enabled platform. One of the things that we have seen over last 15 years is network is like utility, right? It's like electricity. So when it works, nobody cares, but when it breaks, hell breaks loose, right? And it's an escalation. And many a times, it is not even the network, right? If something is slow, if your Zoom call is slow or fluctuates, or your team call fluctuates, the first thing that is blamed is the network, right? Whether it's really a network problem or not is secondary, but blame is always on networks. So this is something that we have felt the pain ourselves over last 15 years, and this is a pain of all the IT teams in the enterprise. So what we are building is two things. One is network really at fault? Now, how do we know that? Is by observing the network and then using AI to do diagnosis and RCA, right? As soon as we see a variation, our AI agents jump into action. They do the first level diagnosis and get to an RCA. So when an IT team looks at LinkEye, they already know whether it's a network problem or not a network problem. And if it is a network problem, what is the next course of action? So this is what we are solving. Yeah, that's right. So if we look at the last 20 years, so it started with network monitoring. So monitoring is basically looking at the network infrastructure, looking at some critical metrics like CPU, memory, interface, bandwidth, and whatnot, and then alerting based on a preset condition that if this goes off, alert, if this goes above this metric, alert. That was monitoring. And over last 10 years, in the last decade, came observability. So observability is where beyond monitoring, you have more data points. You are collecting traces, metrics, logs, and observability is giving a very granular visibility of the network and how the traffic is flowing and where is it breaking. So it is giving more contextual information to the IT team. But both in monitoring and in observability, the onus of taking an action is still with the engineer, right? If something is wrong, he gets the alert from monitoring, he gets the context through observability, but the responsibility of doing the final decision and taking a call is still with the engineer. Now, with AI, where we are headed is from observability, we are headed to network assurance, wherein we have the alerts, we have the contextual data. Now we have AI agents which are trained on product knowledge, domain knowledge, and contextual information, which can do the troubleshooting, just like I as an engineer can do, an AI agent can do the troubleshooting, get to the root cause analysis, and then also tell the next plan of action. So this is network assurance. We are in the age of network assurance, and that's what we are doing. So we look at human knowledge, right? So we looked at what makes a great network engineering team, right? So a great network engineering team, the knowledge can be divided into three categories, right? If I'm a great network engineer, I have at the top the domain knowledge. For example, I know about security, or I know about wireless, or I know about routing. That's the domain knowledge, which is vendor agnostic, product agnostic. Then I have the product level knowledge, which is what products that I am well versed with. How does a Cisco router work? How does a Aruba wireless controller work? How does a Palo Alto firewall work, right? That's the product knowledge. And then the third part is the organizational contextual information or contextual knowledge, or what we call as tribal knowledge, meaning how is the network set up for my organization, right? So all these three knowledge base added together makes one a great network engineer. The same thing we are replicating in our product, that we have agents which are trained for domain knowledge, which are vendor agnostic, product agnostic. And then we have agents which are trained for product specific knowledge. And then there is contextual information, which is real time, which is like a digital twin of the customer's network. So all this goes into forming the AI knowledge stack. Sure. Right now, the scale we are at, the current scale that we are operating at, we are adding about 5 to 6 terabit of data every month.
5 to 6 terabytes.
Yeah, that's every month we add onto the existing DB. Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
That's huge. Yeah. Whenever we do anything on AI, the biggest and the most crucial part is data, and we have to have a very strong and robust data layer, and which should be able to scale and which should be able to handle a lot of data. And then there are multiple copies of that same data which are churned or chopped down for a specific use case or specific problem to be solved. There are actually two questions in that question, right? So one is, have we given the complete autonomy of taking a decision to the system yet? Not yet. It is still human in the loop. So our AI agents are doing the first level diagnostics, getting to an RCA, then figuring out a plan of action and suggesting that to an engineer. So it's an engineer's job to execute on that plan of action, or try out something new. So the autonomy of taking the final call is still with the engineer, which is the human in the loop part. The first part of your question, which was about hallucinations, right? That is a common problem with the large language models, and the solution for that, which everybody is implementing now, is what we call as RAG, right? So RAG is where you will take a large LLM, and then we add our contextual training, right, or contextual knowledge base, and narrow it down to a window where it is manageable. The training also involves rigorous validation. Language models have a tendency to hallucinate, but it all comes down to how well it is trained for a particular use case. So we are SOC 2 Type 2 certified, which is the gold standard for enterprise software security and data privacy. We cater to European customers, so we are GDPR and NIS2 certified, which are again gold standards when it comes to data privacy and data security. For regulated industries, we offer a private hosting, meaning the entire stack resides in their cloud. So that's how we address security. We are still, I would say we are still in an infant stage, still a long way to go. We have just started scratching the surface. We are right now doing campus networks, enterprise campus networks. Our vision is to broaden the offering into data center next. It's a long way to go, a lot of things to do. And this industry as a whole, right, AI for networking is very, very new.
Yes.
And we are one of the early movers in this space. The industry itself is shaping up as we speak. So exciting times. Let's see how things pan out over next 10 years? Sure. I would not be able to share the revenues for the obvious reasons. We cater to about 60 plus customers in India and about 20 plus customers outside of India. In India, our customers include the large retail brands, the jewelry brands, the sports retail brands. One of the top three pharmaceutical manufacturers is a customer. The South India's largest power distribution company is a customer. A largest aluminium manufacturer from India is a customer.
Can you name a few customers?
Yeah, of course. Decathlon is a customer. Hindalco is a customer. Zepto, Dr. Reddy Labs, Bescom, which is electricity distribution, that's a customer. And yeah. Sure, because we are solving a very critical problem for their business, right? Let me explain about Zepto's use case. Now, Zepto is a quick commerce, as you know, and they have thousands of small dark stores. Right? Dark stores are those stores from where the delivery comes when you order something. Now, each store is basically a small network. So you have thousands of network to be managed by a small IT team sitting remotely, right? Now, each site, imagine, has 2 internet connections. Now you have to manage thousands of internet connections on a daily basis. The last mile in India is very, very unstable, right? So how do you deal with so much volume of network logs, network issues? This cannot be done manually. What we offer is an automated way to manage so many links with very little manual intervention. Yeah, we are growing 100% year on year. Touch wood, that's been a good growth so far. And now we are in a high growth mode wherein we have a platform, we have customers. Over next 2 years, we are looking to expand outside of India, prominently in Europe and in US.